Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to the channel and to this video, or the second part of the build of the Hangar Rat. So this video I wanted to make it mostly about the tissue covering, but let me give you a bit of an update on what I've done so far. So on the fuselage I managed to put in the hook for the rubber, a little bit crooked but it's there, and I've also built in, I think you can see it, where the propeller is going to spin. So I've used it with a little bit of plastic tubing. I've put in some super glue and I've tried to tie it with some fishing line. Let's see, I hope it resists. I'm also, again, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trying to point it down and slightly to the right to compensate the torque of the propeller. So that's on the fuselage. Let's see how that holds out. I have also, and this is one of the tips or the recommendations from Jose Jimenez, built the jig on which the wing will be stuck eventually. And here it is, it will go on this, and then the wing will be stuck up here. The purpose of this is to be able to move it backwards, forwards, even tip it up or down for the incidence, the angle of incidence. So that's that part. And what else do I have? Yes, well, the tail surfaces, you'd seen these. I'm finding that the super glue is good but somehow brittle, because when I was sanding the stabilizer, actually it broke apart again. So again, I'm not quite convinced. I glued it then with the normal white glue that I used before. Most importantly, I have the wings. I have both. They're very frail. I'm very paranoid, maybe because of what I see on the videos. I'm very paranoid about the weight. So what I've done actually, it's 1 millimeter thick, really very thin ribs, which I had to glue them 2 or 3 times in, because again the glue just gave up on me. So that's a bit of the worry. But I've managed to sand them down. I've put in the rib with the dihedral angle. Maybe I can put them together so that you can somehow imagine how it might look eventually. There it is, I hope you can see it. And now the next step is going to be to put the tissue on this. I've never done this, it's interesting. If this works out, then it might be something, might be my first steps into indoor rubber powered aeroplanes, which are very flimsy and I'm very clumsy, so I'm a bit worried about those. But to be able to do that, I've had to build up a small frame. It's not big, wasn't too complicated, just put it together, and it holds well, and I think the size should be enough to be able to do at least one wing at a time. For the tissue covering, I'm using kitchen plastic, what you use to wrap up food and put it in the fridge and things like that. I'm sure there's specialist materials for that, but I'm going to go with that. And what I did, I glued the plastic onto the frame, so I hope it holds. There it is. Right, so that's the plastic with the frame. I don't want to drop it. I mean, it's not expensive either, so it's no big loss. That's a waste of time if I break it. And then the next step is going to be to put the wing here, put some glue on it, and then frame this in, basically putting the plastic on top and glue it in. A trick that I like that Jose was using, he was putting things underneath the wing to make sure that the plastic actually wraps around the wing. I just have these sticks, these small planks. I think this one is too big, but I don't have anything else, and I don't want to cut it. So let's see, maybe I'll do it. I don't know how to do it. I have to figure it out. So I put it like this. I hope it's in frame. And then one thing I need is going to be my weights, because I want to put the weights all around. So I've got my huge weights. There's 1 kilo, as you see here. These are weights from old scales, and these are actually quite old, because it says 1k, 1 kilogram, whereas the newer ones, they have 1 kg. So apparently somebody told me these are old. I don't know how old. So now the next step is going to be putting the glue kind of fast, I suppose, because it's rapid, it dries fast, and then squeeze on the frame with the plastic, and then weigh it down, and then hopefully it sticks. Then I'll have to cut it out and then trim it and things like that, which will be another challenge. But let's see if I manage to do this without getting my fingers stuck together, which I do not enjoy. So wish me luck. So far I've only been doing like tissue covering with real tissue. And it wasn't easy at first either, got to admit, but gradually I even started to enjoy it. But this with the plastic film is a whole new dimension for me. So here we are learning together. Let's see, now on the ribs I also want to put, I don't know if I have to cover everything up or not. There it goes, and now the weights. Weights are too big. The weights are too big. That's it for the wing. Let's see, I'll wait a bit for it to set, and then I'll cut it out. So I've taken the weights off. I've picked up the frame, and it has not stuck. So all that rushing for nothing. There's a bit of a mark on the plastic. I don't think you can see it, of where the glue probably got in touch, but it has not glued. So a bit of a failure here. What I'm going to do, I think, because I don't have any other glue, or I don't think I can put much more so fast actually, because I put it as fast as I could. I'm going to use the normal glue that I normally have, this one, the normal white glue, and maybe I'll just put like some thin layers on it, and hopefully it will stick. I've done both wings, I'll show you in a minute, and here are the tail surfaces, so the rudder and the elevator. So I'm going to separate it also from the frame, the plastic, and hopefully it will go well. And also what I see from the instructions or from other people, we just put one layer of the covering of the tissue, in this case the plastic, just on one side. I think it could be interesting maybe to do it on both sides also, like then it might look a bit, might be more aerodynamic, and look maybe a bit better, but let's see, I'll think about it maybe. But first of all, let's get one side done. Okay, so that is the rudder. Rudder looks okay, there may be some trimming, but looks okay-ish. Yeah, okay, put it there. And now let's do the elevator. Also what I hear from many, and maybe you'll tell me in the comments, is that if you use the real tissue, like we do with the bigger models, that as the structure is so feeble, then it's almost impossible not to get it warped. Even if you don't wet it, apparently it still gets warped. So recommendations seem to be to not use the tissue, and if you use the tissue, then not to wet it. So let's see, with this plastic approach it works well. So let's see if I manage to cut it well. Came out. So there we have one elevator, good, one rudder, and two wings, one and two wings. So next step will be maybe not assembly yet, but I suppose the propeller, but that will be the next chapter. So thank you everybody for following along on this one, another interesting thing for me at least, because it's completely new, and I'll see you next time.